What's up guys, Omar here, broker and CEO of Alden Mortgage and Ome Realty. So there's this thing that Joe Biden is trying to go ahead and come up, which is called the billionaire's tax, okay? First of all, I am not for it. I don't care how, I don't believe that people that create jobs and the people that employ you, which majority of you that are probably watching are employed, really, you know, you don't want your CEO to get taxed, because what you want him to do at a tax at a higher rate to just go ahead and get taxed even more and more, because then that just limits the amount of jobs that are created overall, especially in the last 2 years. In 2021 and 2020, everybody knew that everything took such a big hit. So guys that are creating jobs, you ultimately want to protect them as much as you possibly can, allow them to have a few different tax breaks in order for them to go ahead and keep building as much as they have. Like, take for instance, you have Jeff Bezos and you have Elon Musk. I'm only gonna spit these two out only because these are the two people that, you know, are probably the biggest household names. Now, in essence, this is exactly what the proposal is, because on paper it sounds very like, you know, across the board, because everybody could kind of relate to it. So what the proposal is the proposal is supposed to go ahead and get 20% tax on income that any CEO makes, which majority are like, okay, that's cool, 20% tax, that's way less than what I pay. And then it is 20%, and then it is 20% on something that's called unrealized gains. And that is going to be put on their liquid assets, and it's going to be on their stocks and bonds. Now, I know a lot of this sounds really gibberish, so let me go ahead and break this down as easily and simply as I possibly can. So whenever you end up getting a little bit of money, right, you do not go ahead and take that money and just put it as a taxable income. What you do is you go ahead and put that in an investment on any type of bonds or stocks or whatever it is that you go ahead and put. Or like, let's say for instance, in real estate, we have deferred taxes in the form of something that's called a 1031 exchange, to where you don't pay capital gain taxes on one property when you sell it. That means that if I bought the house for $200,000 and I made $600,000 on it, I could go ahead and utilize something that's called a 1031 exchange, which would defer taxes, and I will not get taxed on those capital gains because I am selling one property to go ahead and buy another property, because I'm just keeping it going and I'm stimulating the economy, right? So what it means that you know, what we do typically, you know, we go ahead and take money out we take loans out against the assets that we currently hold. Like, most of our bank accounts look really like miserable. Like, you probably have way more money in your bank account than me, but because I don't put money in a bank account, I don't believe in checking accounts. I think they're stupid. I think people need a little bit more financial literacy to understand that having money in a checking account is it makes no sense and serves no benefit to you, which we'll make another video about that. What we do is we go ahead and put our money in whatever you decide that you want to go ahead and put it in. With me, it's mostly real estate, and then you go ahead and borrow against that. Now, what is one of the things that you get to do when you borrow money against that? Well, you get to write off the interest that you pay on that loan that you go ahead and put. So it's like a double dip type of scenario, right? So they are going to be paying 20% on taxes on income taxes, which a lot of CEOs do not put their salary as anything. They make nothing. They probably put their salary as $1 and then just go ahead and take everything else on stocks, or they'll go ahead and take everything else whatever platform that they have, and however they break down their total payment, the structure. They don't take money out as a form of the salary, because then you have to claim it, and then it's like money. Like, for instance, Mark Zuckerberg, his salary is $1. I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on that, I'm almost 1,000% positive it's there, but I could be 1,000% wrong too at the same time. So on paper, yeah, it does sound great. Yeah, you're gonna go ahead and tax the rich the same way you're gonna tax every single person out there. But do you really want that? Case in point, okay? If let's say for instance, if you work for me and you're watching this video, if I stopped building relationship, I stopped buying houses, and I stopped doing what I do, and I stopped flipping properties, that means that the people that work for me, that's 50, 60 people before, they are out of a job because I'm getting taxed at a point where I have to go ahead and scale back. I have to scale back. So the people that are actually producing the jobs, the people that are actually doing something, well, now you're kind of putting them between, like, you know, you're shackling them up. It's, you know, it's called the marriage dilemma, right? You all of a sudden have a completely different expense that you have to go ahead and deal with because, you know what, you want to go ahead and tax them a little bit more, and then that'll hinder them from going ahead and making more, or like creating more things and more jobs for other people to go ahead and get employed by. Now, yes, I understand that this is called a billionaire. I mean, they're calling it a billionaire minimum tax, right? And I know that most of us, it's not going to affect a majority of us that's watching this, especially me, not even close to me. But, you know, isn't this like some sort of like, you know, is it the way that business is supposed to be set up? Business is supposed to be set up in a way where you could go ahead and flourish and you could create and you could go ahead and do everything. But why in a world where I think Elon Musk is doing a great job, where he's kind of like socializing himself in a way that he could go ahead and I know this is like a PR thing, it's like, you know, a public eye type of thing, but you feel very relatable to the guy, right? Now, isn't this a way that's just going to segregate people in a way that, especially the wealthy from the not wealthy, you're going to go ahead and separate it? I thought they were doing such a good job bridging that gap to where you became relatable, except Jeff Bezos, he's kind of not relatable, especially that weird laugh he has. I mean, he's an awesome man, super successful man, but that laugh of his, that's a little bit weird. But yeah, the billionaire tax. Do you agree? Do you disagree? I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. I say no. I say I don't like it. I say that there's other ways you could go around it. Like, for instance, if you are going to go ahead and do what majority of people do, that have a little bit of cash flow, that have a little bit of money, and they go ahead and put their money in any type of stocks, or they put it in any type of, you know, anything that they go ahead and put it, are they allowed to borrow money against it and then write off the taxes? Maybe you could take a limit on how much they're allowed to write off of loans that they're the interest that they write off. Maybe that could be one of them. But to double for projected sales as like everybody else goes. So like, for instance, if you get taxed, you get taxed every 2 weeks. If you got paid bi-weekly, so you get taxed every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks, you go ahead and pay the piper. And at the end of the year, when you file, they say, okay, you paid us a little too much. We're gonna give you a little bit, or if you didn't pay enough, then we're gonna go ahead and take some back. So, do you really want to do it on unrealized gains and kind of cripple the people that are actually making money and creating stuff that majority of us can't? Like, I am no Jeff Bezos, I am no Elon Musk, and I know this, but I envy what they do. I envy how they created something out of nothing. I envy how much of a risk that they took in order for it to create something that they created. I don't know, you let me know. Well, for up to 50% commission rebate, 0% listing, and any mortgaging assistance. As you know that I have nothing to do with politics, I just decided to make this video for the shits and giggles. But if you did need any mortgaging assistance, link in the description below. We'll be more than happy to help you out. And don't hold this video against me, you know. This is just a chit chat that we are all having. Thank you guys, until next video.